tonight, huh?
Nope. You know, you always get the after Shabbos. People think they can't take a haircut. Yeah, you always get those guys. Yeah, 100%. Aaron, thank you for the tent. I hope we left it.
My pleasure. I don't know. I told parents to wake me up. You guys didn't have the kohen.
Oh, we had a kohen, and then he booked out on us.
I heard.
I made it to Shifarakwe right by Duchenim.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I got up to hear the parents is Musaf, and all of a sudden I heard he went straight from Moedim into Elikenu Kevis Hin. I'm like, oops, they didn't have a kohen.
Yeah. Yeah. What can you do?
What do you say? Good luck tonight. What do we say tonight?
Guten Zimmer.
Zimmer. Guten Zimmer. How are you? I didn't get
Well, depends. If you're Hasidish, you say Guten Zimmer. If you say you're Litvish, you say Guten Zimmer.
Okay, whatever. How are you?
Doing all right. Yeah. Everybody's Yom Tov was all right. What's going on in Israel? Any updates from Israel? Anybody know any updates from Israel?
Nope.
No? Nobody checked any news?
I think my Shver said it was pretty quiet. I think I'm double checking right now.
I didn't see anything major. I checked.
I know my app on the phone didn't go off, which means the Iron Dome wasn't activated.
Well, you have an app that lets you know when Iron Dome goes off?
Yeah, it's called Red Alert. It tells you each time it's alerted and which neighborhood.
Only Jesse.
Interesting.
No, this came out years ago. Listen, your phone starts beeping. You know what the beep is. You say Kapitel Tehillim.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't
That's
know.
pretty
Yeshiva World just posted that the IDF has been bombing them away, and they plan on doing another night of bombing. It's got to be true. It's on Yeshiva World.
For sure.
Oh, yeah. That's where we go for our true uplifting news. So, Rabbi Stein, you're sure you don't need this?
I am sure.
Okay.
I am sure.
Are we waiting for
Okay.
something or we're starting?
I'm just waiting for everybody to log on, but I guess we got enough. We have a minion yet? We have 9. We usually wait for a minion.
It's very
Okay,
quick
let's
today,
go.
Yaakov. We did it already. It's very quick.
Yeah, it's a quick
What
stop.
are we up to?
Do you want me
the
to
rest
log
of
on
this
twice?
The rest of this week is pretty easy. The Sagada to Gemara. Oh, we got our minion now. Yeah. Okay. So, where's Gershon? Cleveland's over already. Florida's not over yet. I don't think. Maybe. Okay, we're on Lamed Zayin Amud Aleph. So one thing I said incorrectly, I was saying Zeichat Tzadik L'Bracha before the Mishna. That's referring to Hashem. I made it sound like it was talking to a tzaddik, a literal tzaddik. No, the tzaddik there is referring to Hashem. That you say Zeichat Tzadik L'Bracha, that meaning that's why you have to bench Hashem every time they hear Hashem's name. Okay, so let's see the Mishnah. Yeah, Baloi LeMizrach HaZara, Lamed Zayin Amud Aleph. At Baloi LeMizrach HaZara, they came to the east of the Azara, which we'll see in the Gemara exactly what that is. Meaning he has to go backwards because before he was in the north. In the last Mishnah, he was in the north side of the Azara, right north of the Mizbeach. So now he kicks back to the east. Let's soften on Mizbeach towards the north of the Mizbeach. Haskan miyamina v'rosh beisav mismayla. The assistant was on his right, and the rosh beisav was on his left. V'sham shnei seirim, and he had 2 goats. The kilpi haisasham, and they had a kilpi is they had like a bucket to make a raffle. And in it had two I guess raffle tickets. Shel eshkaroya. They were made out of eshkaroya, right? Some sort of fancy wood. Basan Ben Gamla shel zov, and Ben Gamla made them out of gold. And they praised him for making it out of gold. So it used to be made out of wood, and then Ben Gamla went and upgraded it. Ben Kotin also Yud Beis Dad Kiyor. This we had before. Ben Cotton, he added 12 openings to the kiyor, because the kiyor used to have 2 openings, and then he added another 10, so that all 12 kohanim that were involved in the carbon tamid, they needed to wash their hands and their feet first, so they were able to do it at the same time. Yeah, it was only 2. He also made a muchani, which is from the word mechanic. That's where that comes from. Kiyor to the kiyor, which we'll see in the Gemara. So that the water won't be possible. So basically, what it is that anything that touches a kli shares, anything that touches a kli from the Beis Hamikdash, gets automatic kedusha to it. And we know that anything that has kedusha to it, after the night is over, it becomes possible. So they had to get new water every day. So instead of doing that, what he did was he made the kiyor sink down. He put it on like a pulley, and it sank down into the water, and that made it not possible belina. Okay, fine. Munbaz, his improvement was that he made all the handles of the kalim of Yom Kippur out of gold. Hilni, his mother, also said the Breshes Shalzav al Pesach Heichal. She made a how do you call it in the Breshes candelabra, menorah. She hung up a light, not a light. What do you call it? A chandelier. She hung up a chandelier made out of gold at the opening of the Heichal. She also made a tablet made out of gold. That the parsha of Sotah, it was written on it, right? All the psukim that they had to write, right? Because they erased this week's parsha, right? They had to write Hashem's name and all the psukim, and then they erased it and put it into the drink that they gave to the Sotah. So she made what do you call it? Tavla, so that they could read off of it. Nikanor nasa nisim l'tachsoisav. Nikanor, right? The Shari Nikanor he had made nisim for his doors, and they mentioned him for praise because he had the whole story with the doors, which we'll see later. All right, so basically the Mishnah continues with the order of what the kohen gadol did on Yom Kippur, and then it goes off on a tangent about all the different improvements that different people made to the Beis Hamikdash. Who's saying that he has to move it to the north of the Mizbeach. So Michlal, the Mizbeach la betzofenkai must be that the Mizbeach is not in the north, right? Because we're saying he has to go. He's in the east and he has to move it to the north of the Mizbeach. So it must be that whole east is open and the Mizbeach is not there. So Moni, who is that? Rebbi elazar ben Yaakov. It must be Rebbi elazar ben Yaakov. Tanya tzefayna lefnei Hashem. It's the north in front of Hashem. She tzofen kulei pani. He should be standing on the north part in front of Hashem, which means that there should be nothing in the north part of the Heichal, which means the Mizbeach can't be there. Otherwise, the Mizbeach is taking up the north part. But we said a blot ago that the ratios of Rebbi elazar ben Shimon, that the Mizbeach is partially in the north. So our Mishnah is mashma, the Mizbeach is not in the north, and the previous Mishnah is mashma that is in the north. Right? So my answer is cool, Rebbi elazar ben Yaakov. That's all Rebbi elazar ben Yaakov. But Tani bein ha'ulam ulam Mizbeach. And the way we learned it is between the ulam and the Mizbeach. Meaning he has to put it somewhere near between the edge of the ulam and the Mizbeach. But it doesn't mean that it's specifically that what do you call it? That the doesn't mean that the how do you say it? The Mizbeach is in the north side. Yeah, fine. Okay, so Haskan miyamina v'rosh Beisav Ismail. So we said that the kohen gadol, as he's walking around the Beis Hamikdash, so the assistant is on his right, and the rosh Beisav is on his left. Some Rabbi Yehuda, Mahalachli min Rabbi, anybody who walks to the right of his Rebbi, raise a bur, he's considered a bur, right? Which is not a very positive, statement. Rashi says a bur he's even derech eretz, he's not a baki. Meaning not only we saying he's an amoritz, he must be an amoritz in learning, but he also must be he must be an Amoritz in Derech Eretz too, because it's not proper to walk to the right of a Rebbe. Yeah. So Tanan, so what's going to be the obvious question? Tanan Askan b'yaminoi, Rosh Pesav b'smailoi. The assistant walks to the right of the kohen gadol, and the Rosh Pesav to his left. So clearly, you see that there's nothing wrong with walking to the right of the Rebbe. The assumption is that the kohen gadol is the Rebbe.
They're not walking.
What are they doing?
They're standing still. You don't know how they walk there. They're standing over there.
Well, it says baloi. No. No. It says baloi. Isn't that mean that they're walking? No. That's what I would think. They have to somehow get there.
It said the kohen got there. So maybe the kohen walked. Maybe they didn't walk. Then after he stood there, they walked. Then they came up to the stage.
Okay, but it seems like that they're walking around with them.
Okay, fine.
That's what I think.
Fine.
That's what I think. Okay, I mean, otherwise, no question. Maybe you're trying to say a teretz, but either way, they're gonna have another question, right? So va'oi Tanya, and then another. So again, so it seems like he's walking around, right? And he's got this gun on the right side. Va'oi Tanya, three people walking. Harav be'em. So the Rav is in the middle. Gadol b'yaminoi, and the more chashuva Talmud goes on his right. V'katan b'smoiler. So that's another raya that the Talmud does walk to the right. Three malachei yasharis. The three malachim that came to Avram, Michal be'emtza, Michal's in the middle, Gabriel b'yamino, and Gabriel was on his right, Rafal b'smaila, and Rafal's on his left. So Tirgamah, right? So you see three rayas that you are supposed to walk to the right of your Rebbe. So Targum Rebbe Shmuel Bar Papa Kamedu Ravada Kadesh Yischasa by Rabbi. What it means is that he should hide his Rebbe, which Rashi, I don't know how you get this from the Gemara, but Rashi is saying doesn't mean that he walks to his right. He walks to his right and a little bit behind him, right? But the gadol goes to the right, and the one less goes to the left, but they're not in front. They're not right equal. They walk a little bit further behind. Didn't they say this about the he just passed away, the Queen of England's husband, right?
Yeah. He
was not allowed to. He had to walk 6 paces behind his wife because he's a tzugakumana. He was right. He was not. He's not the queen. He's not on the same level, so he had to walk a few steps behind her. So I guess that's the same type of thing here. When it says the right, it doesn't mean mamash on the right. It means the right, a little further back. Tanya Hamahala connect Rabbi Herezebur.
How?
What are you saying?
It's my old issue with these malachim people. How you bring the raya from them? They're supposed to be 3 Arabs. So what are you bringing the raya from?
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
How do you know how 3 Arab businessmen walk? What is the raya, if anything?
I guess the assumption is that since they're malachim, they must have kept halacha or derech eretz, but and economy, right?
They were everything in Avis Das. They made believe they were eating. So I don't want to get. I make myself Mishna with this. I don't.
You got a lot of time to get to Parshas Lech Lecha. You take it easy. Yapa Midbar to distract you. Right?
I started up with Rabbi Greenberg today. I heard this from Rabbi Greenberg today.
I hear. Very good. Okay, so Vatanya Hamahalach connected Rabbi Hareze Bur, Achoy Rabbi Hareze Mikasi Ruach. So we have what do you mean? Here it says if you walk opposite your Rebbe, you're a Bur. Achoy Rabbi, you're from a Balgaiva. So here it's saying that you should walk behind your Rebbe. So which one is it? So one answers the Mitzadid do they know it's somewhere where you go to the side. It means if you're a little bit further back and to the side, then that's okay, right? To walk directly behind or directly on the side, that's what you're not supposed to do. I don't know what the practical halacha is with this. I don't think people are makbid on this. At least as far as I know, people are not makbid. You see pictures all the time of the gedolim walking with talmidim next to them. No.
Somebody in the Shia said there's a picture of the Chafetz Chaim, and they're walking behind him like on an angle. They're not like this, like the Gemara says.
Is that so?
Cohen Kaufman said there's a picture like that of the Chafetz Chaim there. Yeah. Not when there was a whole bunch of people. When there was a few people walking with him, they were behind like a V.
What about the guy that holds on to it, right? The guys with the Rebbis, they have to hold on to them. So those guys are also walking to the side. But I guess that's okay. Okay, let's see. To be there, right? A bucket to make a raffle. And there are two gorillas. It says an Aaron put on the goats, gorillos, plural. It means, and the gorilla card picking out could be made out of anything. Now, gorillos is plural. So maybe it means that you put two raffles, we'll call it raffles for the lack of a better word, right? Two raffles on the top of each animal. It's one girl to Hashem, one girl to Azazel. Ein kan l'shem ela girl lechad ve'ein kan la'azazel ela echad. This only for the shame, meaning the one that's going to be for Hashem that's going to be shechted. That's one girl, and la'azazel is only also one. Yachal yitin shel shem v'shel azazel v'alzeh. I'm sorry. Yachal yitin shel shem v'shel azazel alzeh v'shel shem v'shel azazel alzeh. You would think that you put two of each on each one. I mean, one of each on each one. It says Garel Echad Lashem. Ein kan Lashem ela echad. Vein kan Lazazel ela echad. Each one only gets one. In Kein Matam Lem Garel Lois. So then why does it say a plural? If we're saying that it says plural, it says Garel Lois plural. So why is it saying that for? Sheyushavin shelo yase echad shel zav echad shel kesef. Echad gadol ve'echad katan. They have to be the same, meaning the raffles have to be exactly the same. One, you shouldn't have one made out of gold, one made out of silver. One large, one small. So the Gemara says, that's a pashut thing that it can be made out of anything. Why would you think otherwise? Like no, so you need to look at the tiny but sits. We find by the tzitz, which is what the kohen gadol wore on his forehead, Shashem Kasavalov, that the name was written on it, Hu Shel Zav. It was made out of gold.
What name was written on it? Hashem? Like what Yud Kei Vav Kei?
It was, yeah, well, it's a whole issue
or
of how it was
Hashem.
written.
It was Lamed Hey Hashem?
No, it was La Hashem. No, it was Yud Kei Vav Kei, but there was something, what else was written on it? There's a whole shiloh, whether it was on two lines, one line, Kadosh Lashem, that's what it was, I think. Kadosh Lashem, right? It was a whole, yeah. Anyway, so
but I'm saying it said Kadosh LaHashem.
No, I think like Yud Kei Vav Kei, no?
Okay, I'm asking. I don't know.
Yeah. So it was made out of gold. So you would think. So this should also be made out of gold. It says LaHashem. Yochel Afzeh Kain. Tamalema Goyrel Riba. Riba Shel Zayis. Riba Shel Egois. Riba Shel Eshkroya. No, it says Goyrel, an extra Goyrel to tell you that you can make it out of olive wood. You can make it out of, I don't know what Egois wood is, and Shel Ashkroya is also these three types of woods, right? So that's what it could be made out of, anything. Fine. Ben Cotton also Shneim also dad kiyor. So Ben Cotton made 12 spouts for the kiyor. Tana Kadesh Yushneim also Achiv HaKohanim Hasugim Taman V'Kachin Yidem Raglim B'Vasachas. So that the 12 brothers, kohanim brothers, should be able to do it all at the same time. Yeah. Now, why do they have why do they have to do it at the same time?
So they shouldn't have to wait in line.
Is that the pshat?
I don't know. So they shouldn't have to wait. Let them all do it together.
Okay, I guess there's some sort of brotherhood by them all doing it together. I don't know. I guess.
if there's an extra word in the Torah to tell you that you could make make it out of the kalpi out of 3 different types of wood, so why is it lishvach? If somebody, a schwitzer comes in and makes it for gold, why is that good? The Torah put an extra word to tell you it can make out of 3 kinds of wood. So why is that a great thing that the guy made it out of gold?
I guess because gold is more chashuv, no?
I don't know.
I mean, why didn't the Torah just tell you
Barshalom
make it out
wrote an extra word.
right? Fair enough. I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Maybe don't we have that sometimes that Hashem wants to leave it to us to improve things? Doesn't we say something like that? Maybe. I don't know. Either way, so he did it. He did this so that everybody could wash together. Tana Shachris b'milui mekadesh yoda v'raglav min ha'elyon. So Shachris, when it was full, so they used the spouts on the top. Arvis b'yiridasa mekadesh yoda v'raglav min ha'tachton. And Arvis, when they're going down, then there's less water in it, so then they have to use the lower spouts because the water is not going to reach the upper spouts. Right? Meaning it had spouts, upper spouts and lower spouts. Right? So in the morning, they could use the upper ones because it was still full of water. By the time you got to the evening, it got much lower, so you had to use the lower spouts. Yeah, which again, I understand didn't they need all 12? So now it sounds like
this is not before they had 12. That when they had 2, they had 1 on top and 1 on the bottom.
Oh, this is talking about after 12.
This is before they had 12.
Before 12.
I think so.
Oh, that's a good teretz. I didn't.
Once they had 12, it's a different story. This is only before they had 12.
Oh, very good. I like that teretz. But then why is the Gemara discussing what it was before when they only had 2?
It's another brisa. It's another brisa discussing the kiyor.
I know, but who cares? Once he put in 12 and they were happy with it, so that's it. 2 is over and done with. No, I don't know. But I mean, I like your teretz. Yeah. Okay, fine. Let's see weiter.
Yeah, it's the footnote in Art Scroll. It's not me. It's the footnote in Art Scroll.
Art Scroll says that?
Yeah.
They ask a question or they just...
No, it doesn't ask. It says, but the brisa describes the kiyor before Ben Katin's innovation.
Okay. All right. I don't know. Okay. That's why Art School's good. They bring it from anybody to say it themselves.
See Siach Yitzchak and Rashash.
Okay, I hear. At least I was mechavan to an issue. Because I'm looking at this Gemara and say there's got to be something wrong with me here. I don't understand what's going on. Okay, Baruch Hashem. Fine. Va'afu was a muchni l'kiyor. My muchni. What does it mean, a muchni? I think that's from the word mechanic. Mechanical comes from that, no? I'm going to buy a gilgala. It's like a galgal, it's like a pulley that lowered the kiyor down into the water so that it made a new thing. Yeah, fine. Welcome, Gershon. What do you had? A long Mila Sachag? Yeah.
No, I was in the hospital until 20 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. Well, I'm not happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that you're not in the hospital.
Baruch Hashem, everything's fine.
Okay, Baruch Hashem. Fine. Munbaz, bottom line now. We're on the bottom line of Lamed Zayin Amud. Munbaz Amelech also kol yodas kelim. So Munbaz Amelech made all the handles of the kelim out of gold. So the Gemara asks, why don't you make the actual utensils out of gold? Why are you only making the handles out of gold? It's talking about the handles of knives. So knives, Rashi says you can't make a knife out of gold. Ever wonder why there's no knives made out of gold? I never wondered that till now. But the Gemara is saying that you can't make knives out of gold. It doesn't. Rashi doesn't say why. But I guess it's something to do with the too soft to metal. I guess must be something with the metal properties of gold, right? Fine. So Meisvei. So they asked the kasha on this. Afu was the Kane Kalim Right, so you see that he did make, he made knives, and he made them all of gold. So Tirgama Abaye, the Nagri B'chatzini. He only made it the handles of the, what do you call it? So he touched Nagri B'chatzini, like the, not knives, the axes, no? Yeah, axes and those type of things. Right, the handles of it that he made of it, right? Fine. Hilni Ima also Nebresha Shozov. So Hilni, the mother, made the what do you call it? The chandelier out of gold. Tana b'shasha achamim zerachas, when the sun would rise, nitzaitzas yaitsim imena, sparks would come out of it. That doesn't mean literal sparks. What it means is that the rays of the sun would go against the chandelier, which was gold, and it would start looking like it sparkled, and then everybody would know that it's already nets. Right? So Nitzatzas Yatzim Menava, call Yoda Shigiyas Ma Kriya Shema, and then everybody said that it's time for Kriya Shema. Meisvei. So they asked the Kasha, Hakayra Shema Shachrisim Anshe Mishmar Anshe Maimed Lo Yotza. Also a fascinating Gemara, right? You read Shema, you're in the Beis Hamikdash, and you decide, okay, I got the Chashuvim here, I got the kohanim reading Shema. So you have the Anshe Mishmar, those are the kohanim that are on duty. So you read the Shema with them, you're not Yotza. Anshe Maimed, and the ones that are part of that actual Maimed, right? I'm sorry, that's the Yidden that are there. That's the what do you call it? The agents that are there to deal with all the karbonos on behalf of Klal Yisrael. You're also not Yotze, right? So you're in the Beis Hamikdash and you're reading Shema. When everybody else reads it, you're not Yotze. Why not? Because the Anshe Mishmar do it early to make sure that they're going to get an early start. Anshe Maimed Ma'achram, and the Anshe Maimed push it off, right? Because they want to make sure that the covered Talmud is done before they read Shema. So therefore, don't read it when they're reading Shema. So then what's in Negeya to seeing the sparks off of the chandelier? Some Rabbi the Shar Amud Yerushalyim. Yeah, Nechanami. It's not talking about the people in the Beis Hamikdash. It's talking about the people in Yerushalyim. People from Yerushalyim that came to see what's going on. Once they see the chandelier that's gold, sparkling from the sun rays, then they know it's time to read Shema. But Enochanami, the people inside the actual Beis Hamikdash should not read Shema when the Anshe Mishmar and the Anshe Maimed are reading Shema. Fine. Vafi also tabla, and not only that, but she made a gold tablet with the psukim of Sotah written on it, because they had to write it down and they had to erase it in order to put into the drink that the Sotah is going to drink. So Shamas Mina, Kaisim Megillah Latina, from here we learn, this is obviously talking about before the days that you were able to write down Torah, right? So you can Kaisim Megillah Latina, you're allowed to write a Megillah for a Tinuk in order to learn from it. Because she wrote this down. No, it's with aleph beis. Now, what does that mean? They didn't write the psukim. They wrote the first letter of each word, right? So that they just knew which word they said, so they wouldn't lose it. Meaning, you write Rosh Teva, so you're not writing over the whole psukim.
Like the Tzach Hadash B'Acha.
Correct, like the Tzach, very good, Paris. Right, so that's right. Dam Tzvardei Akinim as a Rosh Tevis, and then they knew that they wouldn't be making mistake when they write over the parsha. So Meisvei Kishu Kaisev, when he's writing it over, when the kohen is writing the Megillah, writing down the parsha, and then on the parchment in order to erase it and put into the drink that they're going to give to the woman. Kishu Kaisev Raya, he looks the Kaisev, Masha Kaisev Patavla, right? So you see that he looks and he writes what's written on the tavla. So that sounds like it wasn't Rashi Tavis, it was actual psukim, because he's looking at the tablet and he's writing what it says there. So one answer is no, he's reading off the tablet according to the Rashi Tevis of what it says on the tablet, not that he's actually reading the psukim. So when he writes it, he looks and he writes what's written on the tabla, ma kosav b'tavla, and what's written on the tabla. Now this is right here. This is fascinating. What the pasuk, what the Gemara brings. Im shochav ish aisach, right? If a man sleeps with her, vim loy shochav, and if he didn't sleep with her, or she didn't sleep, whatever, they didn't lay together. Im sotis, im loy sotis. If she's a Sotah, she's not a Sotah. The pasuk does not say im shochav is ish aisach. It's not in the. It's just not there. It's only. It says in loy shochav. That's in the pasuk. It does not say im shochav ish aisach.
It's a paraphrase.
What?
It's a paraphrase.
It's not a paraphrase, but it's not in there. It's not there. The one in the brackets is what's in there. In the pasuk. My Gemara doesn't have the whole pasuk here. Hold on a second. This Gemara, I was using Gemara today that had the whole pasuk. I mean, it's this week's parsha. It shouldn't be too hard to find. We get up to it. Where is it?
V'hishbiya.
V'hishbiya, very good. V'hishbiya isa kohen v'omer leisha im loy shochav ish oisach v'im loy sotis tuma tachas ishay v'noki mi hamarim ha'ila. That just doesn't say. Doesn't say if she's going to sleep. It says if you don't.
Why is the Gemara saying that?
I don't know. I think it's a. I don't know if it's a typo. I don't know. Because nobody. Right. Because that's not. It seems like it's not that little circle that makes it that it's a pasuk. It's not. It doesn't really say that. I mean, Tosfos. You see. Look at the Tosfos in Shachav and Loy Shachav, the second Tosfos from the bottom. She says, "V'perak hanizak and Maisi lo v'garsin and Hasan b'chol asmarim im Shachav im Loy Shachav im Sotis im Loy Sotis." Right? Avagav the Kroy Lav Hachik Sivi, even though the pasuk doesn't say that. Right? The Bereisha Ksiv im Loy Shachav im Loy Sotis im Shachav Loy Ksiv Klau. That's all. Tosfos brings it up. He doesn't say what the pshat is. I mean, it's wild, right? I mean, you're writing. I mean, it sounds like that's what it's written in the tablet. They're supposed to write over the whole thing from the Torah and erase it and put it into the drink. And it doesn't say that. It says things that are not. It doesn't say. So I don't know if it means that. It sounds like they wrote this on the parchment. Im shochav im loy shochav. Either way, for this Shabbos, it's at least it's a good part you could say over that. It seems like they don't just write the psukim; they write more than the psukim. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so it's an interesting thing. Either way, whatever it is, it sounds like on the metal tablet they wrote the pasuk out. So our answer is Hasam b'seirugin. There, it's written. Seirugin means how do you touch it? Like not haphazard.
Alternating.
Very good. Thank you. Alternating. Meaning what they do is they have some words as Rashi Tevis, then it says a few words from the pasuk, and then it goes back to the Rashi Tevis. So it goes back and forth and back and forth. So it doesn't say anywhere full psukim, full pasuk. Right? The way Rashi says, it says Emloy Shachav. Then it says some Rashi Tevis until the end of that pasuk. Then it says Va'at ki satis, and then Rashi Tevis, and then back and forth. Yeah, so that's how they do it. That's how they did it. Okay, I guess we could stop here. It's 10:15 already. Fine. All right. A good vach and a good zoomer to everybody.
Yaakov, I had a silent today.
Yeah.
So I had my cleaning lady over. Was I allowed to ask her to turn on the vent on my oven because I wanted to cook later and I didn't want the whole house to smell?
I don't know.
Just don't shepherd the meat we need for the sea in Paris. That's all.
I'll send an update now. In case anybody was missing it over Yom Tov, I'll
Are we
send
supposed to have
an
a market tonight? Or that's only after Shabbos?
Only after Shabbos.
Okay.
Can you turn on the vent? How bad would it be without the vent?
Nah, the flame was so small, it took an hour and a half to make French fries. I was already Matzah Yom Tov by the time we were done. So our Nila Sachag consisted of just meat and a little bit of fries.
Well, I didn't have Nila Sachag at all. Actually, my Nila Sachag was looking at the daf. Not
Well, you
bad.
could have
Nila
come to
Sachag.
us. You could have come to us.
Yeah. I don't see that you should be able to turn it on.
No, I didn't. I was just clearing. Yeah, no, it is for achila, but you know what I mean? It's not real achila. It's just makes it more enjoyable to cook.
I know, but I don't know if enjoyment is enough to.
And yeah, my boy there. My boy is still there.
Your boy is still here, I think. Yeah, I'm looking at him right now. He's waving.
I tell him I'm gonna come get him soon.
All right, we can get him over to you at some point.
I have to chazer what I was supposed to do today.
What happened to you?
Not me, Baruch Hashem. My kid got a gash. Someone threw a rock at him. He got a gash under his eye.
Well, they do these things in Cleveland. Yeah. So you went on Yom Tif. It was so bad. Can't hear you.
Doctor, neighbor.
You're
I have a
muted.
neighbor who's a doctor.
Yeah.
I'm not. And he told me, fine, you should go in. It might need stitches. Well, we thought it did need stitches for sure. He said to do everything by a guy. Right? Was that good?
Yeah.
Fine. Was I allowed to take anything? I mean, I needed to take stuff with just in case things happen. So I took a wallet, and I asked the guy to unplug my phone. Take my phone with.
Well, why were you taking the phone?
Just in case it was worse than it seemed and it would need more than that on Yom
Tov. Yeah, I mean, Lamaisa Yom Tov, it's the Rabbanon. It's at least a double the Rabbanon. If you feel you needed the phone, then
Right.
That's okay. No?
Yeah, I didn't take it for Matzah Yom Tov. I took it for Yom Tov just in case I needed it. It's not the first time I've been into hospital second day Shavuos, unfortunately.
When did you
It's the
go?
outside of my leg today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, second day Yom Tov. I went in this afternoon about 5 o'clock. And yeah, stayed there until Matzah Yom Tov.
Okay. Did you have to sit around?
We sat around, we walked a little bit, and we walked like a quarter of the way back until I couldn't anymore. My legs
Was it a
falling
girl
off
or a
right now.
boy?
Boy.
Because a girl is always more nerve-wracking.
No, but usually this one is very nervous. I don't know what happened. He was okay. He was great. I was expecting him to be kicking and screaming the entire time.
How many stitches end up being?
None. They glued it shut.
Serious?
After all that, I could have
So you
super glued it at home.
Correct.
Yeah. The truth is, when we went in, it was there was no way to tell how deep it was. It was just bleeding like crazy. So yeah, well, it is what it is.
I'm surprised it happened at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And the doctor told you that you couldn't wait till after.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's interesting.
Well, he also thought it was deeper, so I think he was thinking more, get it cleaned out professionally in a hospital, just in case it gets infected. I think that was yeah.
Okay, as long as everybody's good and well.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. If I was in Far Rockaway, I would have walked over to you first. But, yeah.
I felt bad. I told 2 people they can drive, they can be driven to the hospital. One whose wife was in the hospital with 2 weeks post-birth. I don't know what she was in the hospital for. So I said, why'd you come home in the first place? Like, why'd you come home before Yom Tov? Shine. Okay, she said he should come home, she'd come home. Okay, make it. I don't know. So, but Lamaisa was South Nassau, so he could walk 3 hours, whatever it is, 3-4 hours.
Right.
And he wasn't gonna walk. He had a hernia. He has a hernia. He was gonna. Oh, that's shine. It's a double derabbanan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, take a cab. My shiksa went over there and did the Uber for them.
Mm-hmm.
And another couple who had a baby, and the baby's in NICU. So that to me was pasha that they can go.
That's
So.
Well, I can argue the mother was there or at home. The mother wanted to go.
The mother and father wanted to go.
The mother, it's easy.
Yeah. Well, once the mother's going, then the father can go.
Right. Yeah. I hear. So my neighbor was amazing. My neighbor just decided. I asked him about calling an Uber. He says, "Hey, let's find out." I said, "It's 25 minutes. Nah, I'll take you." He hopped in his car. He opened the doors for us, closed them, everything.
He knew the whole.
He didn't know anything. I told him we can't do whatever. But he says, "Okay, you know what? Let's go."
Interesting.
Yeah. Baruch Hashem. Okay, where did we start tonight, by the way?
Started the Mishna.
Oh, right. Okay. I have to catch up. Okay. Gewaldig, Yashikayach.
All right, fine. A good Vach, Besudas Taivas.
Man, I get the Vach.
Good Zoomer.
Gesundte Zoomer.
Gesundte
Oh, Rebbi Yaakov.
Yeah.
I had a machshava this morning. I was telling people over by shul. Rashi goes at lengths by Kofale and Harkagigis. That it was like a barrel and what kind of barrel and it was hollow. We don't learn that in yeshivas. We just learn he held over the mountain as if it was a threat. I think Lanias Daiti, I think Rashi was trying to say something more than that. It's both ways. You should live and die inside the barrel. It's the biggest kind of barrel there is, a gigas. Not a chavis, a gigas is bigger. What's pshat? That in the barrel there's space for everything. All the Ashkenazi minhagim, Sfardi minhagim, Messiris, this way, that way. Imatem bekablim toiv. Be in the barrel. But if you can't accept to be in the barrel, shomtvek faraschem. At least you should die by the sword. In other words, ba'achtus. The same vayichan sham Yisrael. The Abish is saying, keep it up. And that's why the Beis Hamikdash Sheni, right, was 10 years longer. Why? Because at least it was ba'achtus. They did everything wrong, but they did it together. That's Kofaleim Harkagigis.
Interesting. I like it. Very nice. Yeah, somebody by my table was also asking about it. I was like a girl who doesn't know anything. Like, I explained this to her. I said, "You think we're big tzaddikim? We were forced into it, man." She looks at me like, "What are you talking about?"
The godless of that Gemara is Meidor Rabbi Raisa. The Gemara doesn't say that falls off the next line by Kimu v'Kiblu. Somehow, even though Kimu v'Kiblu, there's still Meidor Rabbi Raisa. We're still able to get away with the time of Inus.
Fair enough.
It's Moiridik. And that's even though Kabbalah Sotah essentially was Hey Sivan. Nasa they said twice on Gimel. Nasa and Ishma they said again on Hey. Then there was Mountain Torah. So technically, there was already a Kabbalah Satira Me'ava, Erev Yom Tov. And then you had the Einus on Yom Tov, and then Kibu V'Kiblu again. So I don't know what happened exactly. I mean, because we can say that the Eibush Lamaisa forced us, there's a time of Einus, even though there were two Kabbalah Satiras of Me'ava.
Right.
It's a pella.
It's
a Moirdik Chezek. It's a beauty.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. All right, my guests are leaving. I gotta go say.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Yashikayach.
Danke,
Altuv.